Well, what's going on to the people out there? Welcome to the Hustle Sports Fantasy Podcast. This is the basketball edition. It's week 14 of the fantasy season. We're bringing y'all the heat top performers, waiver gems, risky plays, and our Hustlers Energy lock pick of the week. Whether you're cruising or fighting for playoff position, we got the data, the energy, and the locks to keep you in the win column. Hey, make sure y'all like, subscribe, drop y'all toughest fantasy questions in the chat. And before we get to hooping, well, what's going on with you, Justin? What's going on? How you doing?
Man, not much, man. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good, man. It's good to be back with you for a little bit. You know, glad I'm not. I wish I could be there with you back in North Carolina, but we'll rock out from here from Texas.
Oh yeah, hey, look, thank God for the internet, for the
Mhm.
for the Wi-Fi, you know what I'm saying, to be able to make the world smaller so we can connect like this, talk sports. We all love sports, so to be able to still talk it, regardless if we're in the same spot, though, I'm definitely appreciative for it. And I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Let's go and jump into it. He go to top performers from week 13. Some of these people been staples. They've been balling all year. First up is Jamal Murray from Denver. He averaging 57 and a half fantasy points over week 13. He even had a 72 fantasy point game. You buying or fading on Jamal Murray?
Ooh, I'm a buy. I'm a buy. I'm a buy on Jamal Murray. I mean, yes, I know he's had injuries in the past and stuff like that, but whenever he's there, he does play. When he's in rhythm, I'm buying, especially around this time of the season. I think he's cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, he a gamer to me. Like, yeah,
Yes.
he might not always be in the conversation with the big
Mm-hmm.
dogs, but when it's time to hoop, though, he right there.
Mm-hmm.
He right
No,
there.
I agree. I definitely
He-
agree with Jamal. Yeah, no, he's. I think what he's showing now is exactly what we need to see. It's hard to put him as oh, is he an all star? Is he this? Is he that? But he's a bucket. He's gonna get you. So
yeah,
he's gonna get some stuff.
for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, the next top performer at that guard spot is my dog. He on your Lakers now. Luka
Mhm.
Doncic,
Oh
56.8
yeah.
fantasy points. He doing what Luka do. You know what I mean? I got him on the squad. He set out for me last night, so I ain't gonna lie, kind of opened up the door for the guy I'm playing to come back
Hmm.
because you know how they do in this new NBA.
Yeah. Oh yes.
You day to day, almost every day, play when you
Hmm.
feel like. I don't want to say when you feel like it, but they be in and out the lineup
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. 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 Fantasy basketball is definitely different than fantasy football. You definitely have to watch every night because, like you were just saying, but Luca is that dog. He's definitely been carrying us, carrying my Lakers. So yeah, no, he's been cooking. He's been cooking. So, but like you said, just keep in mind for that, especially with him sitting out last night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that hurt, but yeah, my dog Luca, you know what I'm saying, he always up here. Next up at the fourth spot of the top performers, we got some new blood. We got Trey Murphy, the third from the Pelicans, New Orleans
Oh yeah.
Pelicans, 56.3 fantasy points over the week 13. He even had a 70 fantasy point game. Let me know, you buying or fading on Trey Murphy?
Trey, I'm gonna actually with him. I'm gonna actually fade, and I like Trey Murphy. I do, but I
Yeah,
think Trey Murphy. I think that 70 game, people are gonna hone in on him a little bit more this next coming week. So I would fade a little bit. It's a little fade, not much.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I do like Trey Murphy, and I do like the Pelicans the way that they playing. They ain't winning a lot of games, but they're competing a lot. So and Trey Murphy is a big part of that.
The talent there. I think if they can
Yes.
stay healthy, they'll be all right.
Hmm.
They got the
Oh
talent
yes.
in the building. So
Yes, they
yeah,
do.
Trey Murphy, new blood at the top performer at the
Hmm.
forward spot. Next up, I got this player as well. Old
Hmm.
reliable, the Claw Kawhi Leonard from the Los Angeles Clippers. He
Oh
averaged
yeah.
55 and a half fantasy points over week 13. Hey, and I saw something about, man, they won like 12 out of 14 out of their last 14. Like the Clippers
Yeah.
on a burner right now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
going
Not the
crazy.
Clippers. No, you're right. You're right. The Clippers, they're what right now in the West. In the West, they are number 11. But I mean, as of their last 10 games, the Clippers they've been on a 5 game win streak right now. So
Yeah,
8-2 in the last 10 games.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
Kawhi is a big part of that. He's also been a little bit more healthier this season than he has previous season. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully, with him having them 55.5 points last week, I can see that being a reason why their record looking the way it looks. Yeah, they're in the 11th seed right now, but with him cooking like the way he's been cooking or consistently playing, so I think Kawhi definitely is one of those great forwards for that. There's always just been availability for him.
They shouldn't be in 11 long. So
mm-hmm.
Next up, at the center spot, I got Evan Mobley. He had 55 fantasy points over week 13. He been balling though over the year. I saw he had a game winner against Philly the other night too.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to see that one, but I did. Yeah. I think I did read about it or hear about it.
I ain't gonna lie. When you say game winner, it's misleading because it makes it seem like
it wasn't the buzzer beater. It wasn't a buzzer beater, but it was like within I think it's like within like 5 seconds. Usually.
Yeah, but he dunked it though. It wasn't like he mixed somebody up and hit a jumper in somebody's face. It was a nice pass though from Jalen Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Jalen Tyson had a career night that night and hit him with the pass to win it. So that was a good one. And then the next center at the top spot is Nikola Vucevic, 48.7 fantasy points. He had a 65 fantasy point game against Utah. He was Chicago. What you doing? You buying or fading on Vooch?
Vooch, I'm not gonna lie. I do like Vooch. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping that we could have looked to try to do something with, or try to at least look to see if he was available for my Lakers. Me, I'm always trying to do something for the Lakers. But for fantasy, I think Vooch is going to be a good buy. I think he'll be a good buy for fantasy. He's one of those centers that most people don't really know about if you're not really an NBA fan, but Vucevic is new, especially for Chicago. He's been playing pretty well, and I think he can maintain that consistency. I mean, would he get 65? Nah, but I think staying in that 48.7 range where he's been at for the season for last week, I think he can keep close to that.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So that was a top performers. That was my top performers. You got anybody you want to
add? Top performers for last week. I mean, the only one I could think about, and this is kind of going to go into one of my other ones, was Bryce Sensabaugh. He looked pretty good. He averaged up there. I think he had his last game. He had 34 fantasy points for his last game that he had. So. Yeah, he's one of the ones that I definitely was kind of looking at, and so he's not a big name, Bryce Sensabaugh for Utah. So he's been cooking slowly. His game's been a little bit inconsistent, obviously, but it goes based off of his playing time. But fantasy, he looks like he's someone that y'all need to look out for.
So yeah, my Mavs just played them back to back. I think he had 25 yesterday.
Yep.
And I think he had 30. I think you said 34
the game before. Yeah. That's what it was, the game before. Yep. My fault.
Yeah. Nah, he was he looked solid though. He looked like he could shoot, looked like he got a burner, looked like he got a good pull up. Looked like he got a little post game too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he looked like he been balling too. I mentioned him on my midweek hustle episode. And he been balling. It looked like he been getting major burns since Christmas though. Yes. So it looked like it looked like he's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, looking at his minutes, I was actually looking at the minutes the other day, and his minutes have been going up, which it makes sense with his game, especially with the way he's been playing and scoring and all that, rebounding, and not so much assists, but mainly just rebounding and scoring.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a wrap on the top performers from week 13. Make sure y'all, on top of that, if it's somebody y'all could trade for, try to make something happen, make something shake to save your season. We're gonna get up into who next up on the waiver wire for our hustler pickup, waiver wire gems. I'm gonna swing it to you first, Justin. Before I swing it to you, we try to identify talent that's under 50% rostered in leagues. You know what I'm saying? That can help you. That's available that you can go grab. So, I'm gonna swing it to you. Who your hustlers pick up?
So my hustle pickup, I'm gonna actually go with the guy we just talked about, Bryce Sensabaugh. He's 18% rostered right now. He's 18% rostered. Like I said, he's averaging 19.1 fantasy points, 21 minutes a game. He's I think he's trending in the right direction. Like I said, with that 18%, that means a lot of people don't have him. He's available in our league right now too. So I would say Bryce Sensabaugh is definitely one of those ones. He can score. His rebounds are they're at 3 right now, but they're going up. His points at 11.7. But I think Bryce Sensabaugh is one of those ones, especially with Utah. They're not the best. They're what are they? They are 13th in the West, and they on a 3-game losing streak, 2-8, 2-8 for the last 10 games. But Bryce Sensabaugh has definitely been a bright spot for that team, and looking like they're trying to figure out what they got going on with their whole team. But I think Bryce Sensabaugh will be a really good fantasy pickup, and he looked like he's been playing consistently. So I haven't seen anything about injuries or anything like that with him. So, and he's young, so I think he's going to be definitely one of those players that can consistently get you something if you just continue, especially with them giving him more and more playing time, especially as more recently.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to touch, good points, though. I know we just talked about him in the top performers, but I'm looking here. He only got one single-digit fantasy game over his last 10, so it looked like that consistency there. It looked like, he's arrived, so you could definitely probably go grab him and start him with confidence, and he might be a stream to stay candidate, too. Yep. So that's a great pickup, great suggestion, great waiver wire scoop if you need some help out there. Bryce Sensabaugh from the Utah Jazz.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So what you got? What you got for us, Terrence?
So I got a few people. My first guy is Ajay Mitchell, 29.5 fantasy points over the season. He is 45.5% rostered. He got 14, he averaging 14 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists over the season in 26 minutes. So he getting major burn. And as we know, OKC, one of the top teams, and AJ Mitchell, a big part of that, So I think he a good scoop. And like I say, 45.5%, he's still majority available. So he out there for you.
Yeah, that's definitely, I'm not gonna lie. AJ Mitchell, I'm not gonna lie. I think with OKC, the team specifically, they're getting everyone's best. But like you said, I think AJ Mitchell has been definitely stepping up as one of those others that Shaq and all them talk about. Has definitely been doing his thing fantasy-wise. I mean, also playing-wise, but like I said, 14.2, 3.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, over the season, 26 minutes per game. That's like you said, I think he's definitely one of those under the radar players, like you said. And 45% roster, just under half, but he looks really, really good. And I think, for those that don't watch but that are playing fantasy, he's definitely one of those ones that you probably should be looking at. I think that's a really good, really, really good one. A lot of people don't probably talk about.
Yeah, I streamed him a few times this week, though. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So so I from experience, he's helping me get a lead right now. So I've definitely streamed him this week.
Okay.
Next up, I ain't gonna lie, I mentioned him earlier in the season. Moussa Diabate from Charlotte. He averaged 25 fantasy points. That's over the season. He 14.9, so just under 15% roster, getting 8 points, 8.4 ribs. Rebounds, 1.5 assists, 0.8 steals, and 1 block in 24.5 minutes over the season. I streamed him a couple times. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of didn't go back to the well. He had got hurt, missed a few games. Yeah. So I kind of stopped checking for him, but it looked like he's still balling, still doing his thing. I see day to day now. But I ain't gonna lie, this is one of my favorite streamers for sure.
Yeah, no, he definitely is one of those ones, I know Charlotte just beat up on my Lakers the other day. So, and did he? I'm not sure. Did he play? He did play. Yeah, So he didn't get much. I think he played 30 minutes with against the Lakers. But yeah, he's definitely one of those ones. I know he's definitely with that young team. And with them 8.2 rebounds per game for that, I think that's definitely going to help you out with them fantasy points. With 25 fantasy points. Yeah, Moussa Diabate, he's definitely one of those ones that I would definitely look for when I'm looking to try to lock up my center area.
Yeah,
forward, not center, forward.
Yeah, he a good scoop. So yeah, I like Diabate. And then Charlotte, I know their record ain't crazy, but they look like they've been playing a little better here recently.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, I watched that fourth quarter of the Hornets beating the Lakers. LeBron, bro. I know
think,
he.
yeah.
I know it's LeBron. I know he. I know, but
I'm with you. I think I'm the same. This is kind of how I felt in 2016, and I'm a huge Kobe fan. But it's kind of the same exact mindset. I think
it's
we're trying to give them their flowers, but man, as a fan of the team, oof.
it's time. Yeah, it's time. He
mm,
done all he could do. He done all he needed to
exactly,
do. But
exactly.
yeah, I think it's time.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, this dude kind of surprised me. I know he been bounced around the league for a while. Precious Achiuwa,
True.
19 fantasy points on the year, 6.5% rostered from Sacramento, 7.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, almost one steal. You know, he get just under 21 minutes a game over the season, but over his last 7 days, he averaging 29.3 fantasy points. I ain't gonna lie, I grabbed him today to stream and help, trying to push my lead out. So I think he's a good streamer.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I think Precious Achiuwa definitely. I've been kind of hearing his name a little bit, even on a little bit more on sports. Yeah, they don't talk much about Sacramento that much, but Precious Achiuwa is definitely one of those bright spots for them. And like you said, he has been bouncing around. And like I said, for fantasy players, he is definitely one of those ones that you definitely want to look out for because if you looking at his roster, look how consistently he's been playing. And that's really the biggest thing is availability. Who's been playing, who's been actually getting some points. Like you said, the last week, 29.3 fantasy points. That is definitely some things to look at for a lot of players, especially as the season goes on, when more players are going to be sitting out with rest and other things like that. People like Precious Achiuwa is going to be someone that you want to look for. So I do wish I would have did a little bit better and probably scooped him before you did, but but that's definitely a good pickup.
Yeah, and I can't help but notice, Sacramento, I believe, won 4 in a row.
Yeah, Sacramento. Yeah, they won. Yeah, 4 in a row. They're 4-6
4
in
in
the
a
last.
row. In their last 10, as 4 in a row, and he's been consistently playing over the last week, 2 weeks. It may be coincidence, I don't know, but
exactly,
it's amazing, when you put a high energy guy in like Achiuwa, and then your team starts to play better.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he's definitely a good pickup or someone to look at for fantasy. I don't know if there's any Sacramento King fans out there, but definitely, he definitely is a bright side for you guys.
Yeah, check him out. Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah,
So I got another guy, Jarace Walker. Probably a name you don't hear much. He averaging 16.9 fantasy points over the season. He 1.9% rostered. He averaged 9 points, 4.3 reps or rebounds, 1.9 assists on the season. But with the injuries to the Pacers, they've been in they injury situation is crazy. It's
man.
God bless the Pacer fans though, because they going through it, especially coming out the year they just had.
I was about to say, and I think that probably may have taken a toll that short year.
Yeah,
I mean that short off season because of the playoff push that they had last year. So I could definitely understand it, and it's. But Jarace Walker definitely is a little bit of a bright spot for him.
Yeah,
so
you could benefit from it. No, you good. He averaging 30.7 fantasy points over the last 7 days. He even had a 51-point fantasy game, that is January 10th against Miami. It's funny though, because he like the third or fourth person I looked up, and they had a good game against Miami. So it might be a streaming opportunity for you when somebody plays Miami. But Jarace Walker is, like you say, a bright spot for the Pacers this year.
And then, like you said, if you just look at the thing, I know everyone else been hurt. Looking at his log, I mean, he's been in all the games, so and consistently having no breaks. Younger player, that's another thing. Like I said, we keep talking about. I keep harping back to. Look at the ones whose stats have not so much the actual rebounds and assists and all that. Like who's actually playing.
Yeah.
Because for fantasy, I know we all hate it when if you didn't check it that day and the player that you have is sitting because of rest, and now you
Yeah.
don't get no points, and that kind of messes you up. So
yeah, availability is your best ability.
mm-hmm.
For
Yep.
sure.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.
So Jared,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Jarace Walker. That's the name for the Pacers. So if you need help, you need streamer help, check
Mm-hmm.
him out. He getting consistent work. Next up, Anthony Simons. I ain't gonna lie, I thought he would have had a better year in Boston with no Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a new spot, probably taking that Drew Holiday role. Not from the defensive side, but at
Nah,
least the
from
offensive
offensive.
side of the
Mm-hmm.
ball. But I ain't gonna lie, he had a great game last week. He had a 56-point fantasy game. He averaging 22.8 fantasy points on the year. I think he'll stream the state candidate. He is 53.4% rostered, playing 24 minutes a game, but he getting 14 points, 2 rebounds, or 2.4 rebounds to be exact, 2.6 assists per game. And here's another guy, had a 56 fantasy point game January 15th versus Miami.
Versus Miami. Hey,
Yeah.
that's their practice game.
Yeah.
Where they get to exercise some demons, it looks like.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, he definitely. Anthony Simmons definitely is one of those ones. I would say. I know when that trade happened for that trade with for him to come to Boston, like you said, I definitely could have. I thought that was a good pickup for Boston as well, with him being younger. Obviously they lose living on defense, but that scoring, if he can actually do it, like you said, against Miami, but if he can do that consistently.
It's amazing to me how Boston, y'all, the Lakers, Miami, they be in the running for everybody. Everybody.
Yeah. I think the location has something to do with it, also the market, but yeah, no, I feel you. And I want to believe the organizations. I know Miami definitely runs a good organization. Lakers do too. As you can see, like we just talked about with LeBron, I think even though a lot of us fans are ready for LeBron to retire, and I was ready for Kobe to retire, I think the way that they take care of their players, like the Lakers and maybe even Boston to a lesser degree, I think that definitely plays well with players wanting to go there, especially when they get in the back end of their career. But yeah, no, Anthony Simons definitely, fantasy wise, has definitely been looking a little bit like been trending in that right direction as well. It's funny because I always be looking, I'd be forgetting that he's not with Portland anymore. And I'm like, yep, that's right. He's over there cooking he's over there doing good with Boston.
Yeah. So yeah, he 29.3 fantasy points over the last 7 days. So yeah, Anthony Simons.
Yeah, I'll be doing that too.
Yeah, clearly somebody was a Penny Hardaway fan when he was coming up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Anthony Simons is a good stream to stay candidate. Make sure y'all check him out. This is my last guy, my last suggestion for y'all, Musa Cisse from the Mavs, from my Mavs. He ain't doing much on the year, 12.1 fantasy points. He a streamer, 0.2% rostered. Like I say, he ain't doing much. He only averaging 11 minutes a game over the season when he plays. However, Lively's out for the year. AD's out for some time. I think he's going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. Gafford's in and out the lineup. PJ Washington's hurt. So that increased the opportunity for Cisse.
Yeah.
He a good time to stream him. You can stream him with confidence. So, sometimes opportunity is your best cheat code.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Like you said, if you look at the stats right there, you see he's 0.4% rostered. So he's on nobody's radar. So that's a good thing. Like you said, with all the injuries that Dallas has had. And I'm not gonna lie, on paper at the beginning of the season, looking at Dallas, I was like, man, that's the team if they were good. But it makes sense with all the health issues, So Musa Cisse, he definitely. People are like, who's that? I get it, But if you watch that team, they need that center there. So I feel like, will he probably do the best? Most likely not, but he's gonna probably get you some consistent points with all the injuries that they have up there.
Yeah. He athletic. Look like he a solid help side defender. So yeah, he a streamer though. So I don't think this long-term production.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, strictly streamer, quick, pickup.
Mm-hmm.
You need them a day, and then you probably can
Mm-hmm.
get off of them. So that was all my waiver pickups. I know you had Bryce Sensabaugh as yours. We had a few that was, I think, seven people for you. So yeah, make sure y'all tap in. Let us know who y'all looking at, who y'all like to stream out there. Yeah, so we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna go into this segment of top dog. Who your top dog you going into week 14 with? Is somebody who probably on a crazy burner. They just hooping right now.
Okay. So I was kind of stuck between two different people, but for this one, I'm gonna go with for my top dog right now, my burner. I'm gonna go with Giannis, who has about he's having about 51.5 fantasy points on the season, averaging. But I know like the past week 12 and week 13, he's had 28.7 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 7 assists per game, 1.3 blocks per game, and then 1 steal per game on 68% shooting, which has definitely been making. I know for fantasy, I know he's 100% rostered, obviously, but I mean, like I said, if you have him, especially with him, with that team not being as good, he's still playing a lot, so. I would definitely still look into him. Looking at their standings, I know with the Eastern Conference with Milwaukee, they're 11th, but they're 5-5. They're on a 3-game losing streak, but it hasn't been because of Giannis. Giannis has been doing everything he can. Maybe because he wants to get traded. Now, obviously, we know that's what's going on, but I don't think he's cheating the game, and especially not for fantasy. He's definitely been still performing the way he's supposed to.
That actually lead me to my next question. You think he get traded?
Ooh, I feel like Milwaukee has given him everything that he's asked for. So, in short, yes, only because of Luka. What happened with Luka last year? So I know if there's someone out there that's willing to pay Milwaukee, I know Milwaukee will probably come up off of him for the right things.
Hell, they could have got Luka.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would have, and that's why I understand why. I'm a Laker fan, so I'm glad that we got him. But as an NBA fan, I would have definitely been looking like, wait, Giannis is not happy where he's at. Why didn't we look at that over?
I'm gonna be honest. It's easy to say this because I'm not the GM, but as a GM of Dallas, Giannis probably would have been like the short list of people I would have traded Luka for.
Yeah,
but not to get too far. Oh, go ahead. What'd you say?
No. Oh no, not for Anthony Davis has been injury prone, so I agree with you 100%.
But not to get too far off. Yeah, I don't know. It's too much back and forth on. It's like I think he want to get traded, kind of like the Dame Lillard situation.
Oh yeah,
he was leaving Portland. He want to get traded, but he don't really want to say it because he want to hold on to being loyal.
Yeah, he want to appear to be loyal.
Yeah, and I can respect that to an extent. He been there. So what is year 13 for Giannis? I think now.
Yep.
So I can kind of see why he would hesitate on alienating the city, the fans, and it ain't an alienation to me, but I mean, he getting up there.
I agree. I think, like I said, I mean, if we have a little bit of time, I agree. I think how did that look? But I guess my retort would be to that loyalty, quote unquote, with the fans. How did that work out for what's his Dame? So like sometimes as much as people don't like LeBron and hate on it, but LeBron had to do what was best for his career, for his his ascension as being considered one of the greats. Same thing for Giannis. You want to be considered one of the greats? You got to go fight with these teams. Not every team's interest is going to be your interest. Yes, it's the best interest for them to have you and keep you, but that may not be your interest to stay. Yeah. Just like with fantasy, when you're picking up your certain players, it may be, oh yes, this is a big name person, but are they production? Are they scoring? Maybe I might need to trade them a lot faster to give them somebody else. so I can get more players or more fantasy points to try to compete for that championship. So
I ain't gonna lie, it sucked though. It's kind of like multifaceted though, right? Because on one hand, if you Milwaukee, you probably need to rebuild because you got so much money committed to Giannis, and then trying to get these over the hill guys to try to help him get another ring to where you kind of strapped. Whereas you probably need to go and start that rebuild. You know, like you just said, that was what 11th in the East.
11 in the East. Yep.
Yeah, so it's probably time to start the rebuild. Unless you can, if you can retool, obviously you probably want to retool, but you probably won't get much better without giving him up, though.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, and I mean, I think also the writing was on the wall. The fact that Damian Lillard was there, and you kind of saw this guy who was faithful with his team, and then when he's not with that team, he's not the same player anymore because the years have passed. So Portland got all they needed out of him, and now they got picks and got all this stuff, and their team is a lot better now, or a little bit different now than where the Bucks are. So, yeah, if I was Giannis, it's one of those things that sucks, you know. But you know, when you're in that industry, or you know, like sometimes you have to kind of think about your invested interests, over the team or what people keep trying to make you buy into.
Yeah. I think too, you made a point about Bron. It's funny because I feel like switching teams hurt Bron and KD.
Yes.
But I don't know if people will have that same energy for Giannis if he was traded.
Yeah. I you know what the funny thing is? I agree with you. And it's because I think this is a thing that most people don't really talk about is he's not an American-born player. You know, I think it's easier, especially with fan bases, to get behind someone that's us, you know, not to get into politics or anything like that. But, you know, most people, it's easier to identify, this is a Cleveland native, this and that. Yeah. But then he went to Miami and, Miami love him, man, but then he moves on from that too. So it's like, I could understand them. Those up there at the top tier. And Giannis is trying to get there. I think he can, but he probably has to kind of have that same mindset and maybe not be as vocal as Bron or KD, but he still need to try to kind of work on putting himself out there a little bit better to give the appearance that he's more available than what he tries to give off.
Yeah. Do you think? Aside from your point of Giannis not being American born, do you think part of the reason he also wouldn't get that backlash is because he won a ring with Milwaukee first and then left? Whereas LeBron left before he got his ring with Cleveland, and then he had to go back.
KD. Yep.
Yeah, right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really good point. I didn't even make that connection until you just said it, which, yes, that'll definitely I think that'll definitely help him. And we know he's won. He was the guy when they won their championship. Yes, they had good pieces around him, but he was the guy. So, and he didn't have the mental thing or had to go team up with this star player and big name players to actually get it. I think now probably, get more rings, especially with him getting a little bit older, like you said, being 13 years in the league, it will definitely help him to go that route and actually maybe team up with other big name players to get more rings, because that's probably going to boost him up more so than it would detract from his legacy.
Yeah. No,
that was a great point.
Yeah. So good banter around Giannis. That was your top dog going into week 14. I ain't gonna lie. I went with Jamal Murray.
Man. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because he tore his ACL. I think it was the end of the 2021 season. So he missed all of 2021 and 2022. And it seemed like now he's all the way back and he's entering the prime of his career. He's 28. So this looked like the true prime of his career.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I agree. I think, like I said, I think that as good as he is, he's if you ever watch when you watch him play, and I hated it as a Laker fan, especially the past couple of years when they used to take us out of the playoffs. He was the big reason for it at the very beginning when we won in the bubble. It was because it was the Lakers were able to double team what's the call and made him have to shoot the ball. Now you don't want him cooking because he's going to cook and he's going to like he's going to pretty much snatch your heart out. So
Right.
he's definitely, like you said, in being 2+ years removed from the ACL. You know, I tore my ACL and I'm still paying for it.
Really?
I'm still paying for it. So yeah, so I can only imagine with him, especially with all the the work and all that he's put in. He definitely looks healthier, feels healthier. Also, that I think that team dynamic with him, with them getting rid of some of the issues that they had last year, some of the players not wanting to be there and all that. I think they're playing. I think he seems like he's in a happy space with Jokic, with there and the way that team is looking. So I can definitely understand why you would have Jamal Murray as a top dog because he is cooking right now. And that team, what are they? They're number three in the West. They 4-game win streak, last 10, 7-3.
And with Jokic being out, Jamal Murray been the top fantasy scorer like over the last 15 days. So, he got it on his mind right now.
Oh yeah. No, he does. He really does. Yeah, he really does. And I think and I love the way that they play. I think both of them are just unselfish enough to feed each other. And I think he plays that way because Jokic tells, go ahead, take us there, do this.
Yeah.
And then I think Jamal is smart enough. And I think maybe with that ACL injury has kind of showed him, hey, Jokic is that guy. So play off of him well, pick and rolls,
Yeah.
Pick and pop, go out here. And I think his defense has actually stepped up a little bit too since the injury.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So that was our top dogs. Justin had Giannis. I had Jamal Murray. They both been on the burn all season. Y'all tap in the chat comments, hashtag Hustle Sports Fantasy. Let us know who y'all top dog is for going to week 14 and moving forward. Yeah. So we're going to keep it pushing to this in the zone sleeper pick. We're trying to find somebody who's under 25% rostered, who could swing a category or swing a week for you, help you get a dub in these fantasy games. Justin, I'm going to swing it back to you. Who's your in the zone sleeper pick for week 14?
Okay. All right. So I kind of cheated a little bit. Mine is he's actually not. He's just a smidge above 25%.
Okay.
So I know you said under, but I'm gonna have to go with being in San Antonio. I'm gonna have to go with the San Antonio rookie right now, Dylan Harper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's at so he's been averaging for 26.9 fantasy points. But like I said, he's been playing really, really well, obviously, with that team. That Spurs team looks really, really good. They're number 2 in the West, and I think they're the biggest threat to the Thunder, and it's because of players like Dylan Harper. Yes, he doesn't always have the most points because of how stacked that team is, but as a rookie and just his usage and the way that they play with him, he does a lot of little things. And you could tell the way that they're coaching him, obviously with his dad, played in the league. Him being a rookie, he doesn't play like a rookie. He plays really well-rounded. And you could tell that coaching, and it definitely shows up with his consistency of fantasy points, I think because he's on the Spurs and because of San Antonio, a lot of people outside of San Antonio, maybe even outside of sports, outside of NBA, don't really know about him or understand or really think he's going to do anything. But I really love the way Dylan Harper has been playing, especially more recently too. So I think he's going to definitely be one of those in the zone lock picks, for fantasy. Yeah, I know he's supposed to be under 25, but I think he's been.
That's widely available. Would you say 25%? A little over 25.
He's 25.6 right now. roster
yeah.
in the league. But
Yeah, so yeah, he widely available. And that number probably went down from earlier in the year. I know he had missed a little time, but since he
yeah.
came back, I saw where he was hooping.
Oh yeah.
And then with Wemby in and out the lineup, I'm sure that
Oh
create
yeah.
more opportunities for him. Castle been hooping.
Yeah.
Even Keldon Johnson been hooping. So yeah, you're right. The Spurs, hey, they got something brewing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me, right? Because the Spurs got Wemby with this year 3 for Wemby.
Yeah, year 3 for Wemby.
So they got him number 1, 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yep.
And then Dylan Harper was the number 2 pick in last draft.
Last year's draft, yep.
So clearly the talent there, he's really liked it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is most people don't realize with that Spurs team, so the last 2 rookie of the years, if you know, came from the Spurs. It was obviously Wemby his first year, and then I think Castle last year. Was it Castle? Not Upper I can't remember, but it was so the last obviously I think it was Castle last year, but yeah, no, like, and I think that's where it goes to that coaching of the Spurs, developing their players, and then also who they got, that veteran presence that they have in there. So I think that's definitely pushing them to compete.
Yo, I didn't even realize that the Spurs got the last 2 rookie of the years. That's crazy.
And then, like I said, Dylan Harper, like I said, he got hurt. So I definitely, and then also just with the minutes and stuff like that, it's kind of really hard for him to compete against someone like a Cooper Flag. But I'm not going to lie, if you look at his minutes compared to a Cooper Flag, the production is there.
It's right there.
It's right there. Cooper Flag's most likely going to get it, obviously, or, someone who's playing a lot more minutes, getting a lot more points, a lot more usage rate and stuff like that. Also, Cooper Flag is doing a lot more with less. So obviously that's going to play as well. But I think Dylan Harper definitely has been looking really, really, really good as well for the Spurs.
And I think what's going to benefit Cooper Flag with the voters is how banged up the Mavs been. Like they in and out the lineup. So that's constant change for Cooper. So I think that's probably going to help him. And his numbers do support it, though. He is balling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
But, man, I did not realize the Spurs had the last 2 rookie of the years. That's crazy. That's insane.
Being in San Antonio, that's I can't.
I'm sure they don't let you forget it being out there.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
I remember living out there. Them Spurs fans, they passionate.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're gonna let you know it. They're gonna tell you. I mean, also them tickets is not cheap anymore. So watching the play get better. So.
I can imagine. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie, they arena, like the energy in the arena, like it's a I ain't gonna lie, I hate the Spurs, but it's one of the funnest NBA experiences I've ever had, though.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. They're moving downtown, so they're gonna be in a couple of years. So it's definitely gonna be even
better. Yeah. All right. So Dylan Harper in the zone sleeper pick. That's a great one. I went with the old dog, the OG Klay Thompson.
Okay.
From my Mavs, he 24.6% rostered. He only getting 18 fantasy points on the season, only averaging 22 minutes. 11 points, 2.4 rebounds, 1.4 assists, but he making almost 3 threes a game for the season. And he got 4 games this week. You know what I'm saying? They play in New York in the Garden. They play the Warriors. So he got a good week, you know what I'm saying, to go crazy this week. So he got some stuff that's in his favor. So that was my in the zone sleeper pick for week 14, Klay Thompson.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like Klay. Obviously, his mama called him Klay, so I'm gonna call him Klay. I think he's consistent. I think he's very consistent. I know we talk about the team being injured and stuff like that with them, but with them having those 4 games next week, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. People sleep, like Klay can still shoot. Klay is not dead. I know he's not with the Warriors team, and the Mavericks aren't as good as they were, and it's mainly because of injuries. But Klay still can shoot. Klay still can shoot. It's put in the right situations, and I think with these 4 games this week, it's going to show, especially for fantasy.
Mhm.
And I can almost guarantee that those points are going to go up. Fantasy points this week, especially, probably going to go up for him if he plays all 4 games. So I think that's a really good. I think that's a really good in the zone pick.
Yeah.
For the old man now, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Klay
he the
Thompson.
OG. Yeah, he the OG now. So, yeah. So that's the in the zone lock pick. We try to find gold. I think everybody know about Klay Thompson, but I think this week he got a good opportunity. I think everybody know about Harper, but we know the young bull got more to do. He got, and rookies, they get better as the year go on too. So they always start to look better at, certain points of the year. So that was the 2 in the zone sleeper picks. Make sure y'all tap in, let us know who y'all got for the sleeper pick. So next up is our last segment. Before we get into our community debate, this is our Hustlers Energy Lock pick of the week. There's people who you guarantee ain't gonna pop, who's pretty much like the top dog. You ready to, throw away the key with the lock. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna jump in there. My pick, I got him on my fantasy squad. Tyrese Maxey, he's second at his position. 55.1 fantasy points a game, 38 minutes, 29.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, 6.5 assists, almost 2 steals, almost a block. He even got 4 games scheduled in week 14. Pacers, Suns, Rockets, Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Philly, to me, that's his team now. Like, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think that's his team.
Oh, easily, easily. Yeah. No, he's definitely. I mean, he's just hustle. He be moving. It's not like. I think, like you said, with it being his team now, I think when most people realizing that what's it called? Waiting on what's his name? I think with it being Maxey's team, it's definitely going to be. Yeah, it's obviously going to be some struggles, but I think the team wise, but I think with Tyrese Maxey being the actual center of attention, I think if the other players that are coming up are going to see his hustle, it's definitely going to be infectious for the other players. Having Joel Embiid there before and stuff like that, we could see he's on the back end. It's over with for him. For that, the process is.
That was quick.
Yeah,
that was quick. That was quick. He couldn't stay healthy though. That's the whole thing.
He couldn't
stay healthy.
That's been the issue with them. Because where are they at? 76ers number 6. They're 6 in the East actually. So they're on a 2-game losing streak. Yep. So I think Tyrese Maxey, like you said, 55.1 fantasy points. That's a lot. That's your lock. Like you said, that just screams lock.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good lock. Obviously he's 100% rostered as well. So I think that's a great pickup our great lock for that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now who you got for your lock?
All right. So obviously recency bias. I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards. He just had 55 points, a career high in his last game. So, which is crazy because in my head, when I saw it, I was like, "That's his career high. It's 55." In my head, I'm always thinking 60 with a lot of the way these people have been playing nowadays. But 55 is his career high. They got great 3-game stretch this week. They're playing Utah, Milwaukee, and Chicago. And Utah is 13th in the Western Conference. Milwaukee's 11th in the Eastern Conference, and Chicago's 9th in the Eastern Conference. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like those are gonna be games. Yes, I know Anthony Edwards just came out of injury, and they may be looking at some minutes restrictions. But knowing Anthony Edwards being 23, 24, he's young. He's gonna want to play, and he's probably gonna want to try to repeat that 55-point game that he just got, if not, or trying to be close. I know fantasy, he's been averaging about 47.2 points per game in fantasy. So 35 minutes a game. I think he's going to be one of those. For me, he would be a good lock. Obviously, 100% rostered as well. So
that seemed like he would have had 55 already, though.
That's how I felt too when I saw it. They said career high. I was like, what?
Yeah, it seemed like he had 55 before. Now that's crazy, but You can't go wrong with Edwards though. He a dog.
Yes, he
He
is.
really a dog. So yeah,
Mhm.
you can't go wrong with that. That was our Hustlers Energy lock pick. I had Tyrese Maxey. Justin Time had Anthony Edwards. Y'all tap in. Let us know who
Let's
y'all
go.
Hustlers Energy lock pick.
Let us know.
All right, so here we at the end, our fantasy community debate. I'm gonna throw a couple questions at you. Let me know your opinion on it. All right. How long should I hold on to injured stars if I'm sitting outside the playoff picture?
Ooh, how long should I sit on? I'm not gonna lie to you. That All-Star break is usually the thing for me. I would say, right, like if you're not looking at trading someone by the All-Star break or during the All-Star break, I would try to trade them before, honestly. I wouldn't hold on to them too much longer because, I mean, especially if they already hurt you throughout your season and put you in that season to where you're at, if you're not where you want to be or high enough season. Like I said, I go back on here and relook at what we just talked about and look at some of those good ones that we have out there, those good people that aren't rostered high, that are low percentage roster. But I know you. So like for someone like John Morant, I would definitely. I don't see that situation getting better, and I think he's sitting a little bit more based on more than just injury, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So people like Ja, I would definitely. If I didn't have him already, I would definitely try to use him as good trade bait to get some
Yeah.
decent pieces from other people. So hopefully someone could see the name and not realize the situation and be like, "Oh, that's John Morant. Let me get him."
Or hopefully they see John and say, hey, he about to get traded. Let me get him now before he
That
get
part,
traded.
yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
it
That's true.
definitely could help you move on and build your team up
Yeah,
if
that's
you
true.
got to.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So what would you? How about you? What would you say?
I don't know because
How long would you hold on?
I don't know. I think it's situational, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I scooped Jason Tatum when we in
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
I might have
Yeah.
scooped him the beginning of December. He been in my IR spot.
hmm
Now I did see a tweet where they were saying he might could play like end of January, early February, but
hmm
ESPN got him at April 1st, and it's been April 1st all year.
hmm
I think I think it just depends on the situation. Like if you start hearing more and more chatter, or nowadays in this era seeing more and more workout videos,
hmm
maybe you
Yep.
maybe want to hold. But if you ain't hearing nothing, or it ain't changing, you might want to get off of them. So
Yep.
I think it just I guess the best answer, and I know
No.
yeah, the
No, I
best
agree.
answer would be it depends.
Yeah. No, I definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If that's a great. If you have him in your IR, that's a win. um, because if he does, good. But if he doesn't, he's in your IR, so he's not hurting the team anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
so
So then
someone
you
like
can make a judgment
like a
call.
Tatum. hmm
Yeah, you can make a judgment call. So yeah, I would say it just depends. So I know
hmm
you say All Star break. I know it depends is a cop out answer, but I do think it just depends on the situation. Like whereas Ja, you know,
hmm
you might want to trade him because you might can get
Yep.
something good for him.
Oh yeah.
You know,
hmm
So yeah, I just think it just depends on their situation, what they
Oh
got
yeah.
going on
Yeah.
if you make a move or not. So my
Yeah.
next question. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a good one. I was just gonna also say All Star break or trade deadline, actual
Yeah,
NBA trade deadline. It would
yeah,
probably be the best time to look at that too.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's a good point because people be on the move all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who's the most underrated big man in fantasy right now? And are they must start in all formats?
Most underrated big man. Ooh, that's a good one. You mind taking that one first? There's a couple of them I'll be thinking about, but
I ain't gonna lie, my underrated big man, and it's not a crazy name, uh, but I like Jay Huff from the Pacers.
yep, J
Uh,
Huff is a good one. J Huff is
you
definitely a
know,
good one. I was that. Yep, I had him on. Yeah.
yeah, I like him. I've mentioned him a few times on here,
hmm
but when you look at his numbers, he can shoot the
hmm
three ball, he
Yep.
defend the rim, he look like he a great paint finisher. You look like you just do a little bit of everything. And then, like I say, with the Pacers injury situation,
oh yeah,
he really hooping. Like I say, his name ain't sexy, but he could do everything that you need him to do as a big to where you could you like what he offered.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I do like that. It's funny because I had him on. He was actually one of my. He was gonna be one of my top 3 that I was looking at for the very beginning of our segment. So Layup was in there, but I definitely want to go with Bryce because I think Bryce was cooking. But I do like that one. I was thinking he was one, and then also I'm thinking about Robert Williams, the third over there with with Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been. He's not, like you said, he's not the sexy pick. A lot of people don't really talk about him. He used to be with Boston and stuff like that. But even when he was with Boston, when they won that championship, he was a big part of it. He's a big part of it. That center, he does the dirty work, the little things, the rebounds, the putting people in the right passes and stuff like that, not being a liability. Offensive liability, like a lot of centers end up becoming in the or defensive liabilities with the pick and roll and stuff like that. So he's definitely, I think, one of those ones. And Portland's been, sneaky good. Have been sneaky good this year.
Yeah,
especially after the news with Chauncey Billups and all that. So Robert Williams, I think, is a big part of that. As the center.
I like Robert Williams, man. He one of them players you definitely want on your squad. When you look at, like you say, when he was with Boston, just the dirty work guy, the double, the rebounding, the paint finisher, the paint protector. He do what you need your big man to do. So I like that. Yeah, I mentioned him actually too on the episode a while back as a category specialist that you should check out, Robert Williams. So I definitely like that one. That's a great one. So that leads me to, should I be more aggressive with trades this late in the season or play the waiver wire smarter?
That's a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm always iffy whenever someone tries to make a trade for me. I'm always trying to feel like in my head, my instinct is always like, you're trying to take advantage of me. Now you do have to go back and look at it to make sure that look at the trends. Also think about why the other person wants to trade with you or why you want to trade with somebody else. A lot of times, I like the waiver wire. I love the waiver wire a little bit more. I feel like that's more control that you have over it. So but it does require a lot of research. Watching this podcast, help you out a little bit.
Hey, make sure y'all tap in.
Please tap in, please. So I like the waiver wire. I think the waiver wire is better. Even going back to fantasy football, with that and with basketball, it definitely helps whenever them draft grades come out. This is what you draft, this is what you got. But the waiver wire is really what win people championships. That's the big difference. Is understanding which players are trending where and catching it before other people do. Also getting rid of players before, when you see them starting to trend down or starting to tick down, that's where if you see them starting to tick down, but they've been performing well, that's where that the trades come in. But honestly and truly, if you can waiver wire them, best thing is I'd go that route. What would you think?
So I'm in a matchup right now. I was up, I think, between 200 and 300 all week. And as we said earlier, because Luka didn't play last night, now dude came back. And he was down like, I think he was down like 50 coming into today. So I think if you can trade for more reliable players, I think trading this late in the season could benefit you if you could trade. Because now people finna start focusing on seeding and playoff position. So if you can make a trade for more available players that's reliable, But I play the waiver wire. I max out my matchup acquisitions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm picking up and dropping all week. So I do feel like that can help you as well. I just, if you're looking for like boom, like somebody who can go crazy, you probably got to go to the trade market for that. But if you're looking for stability, you can find that on the waiver wire.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I think that's the waiver wire. I mean, the trades are good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of leery, especially with I know people get upset when they see that someone's like the top seed going into the playoffs and they trade with someone that's like that's in the losing bracket. I know people get upset with that when trades happen. They're like, "Oh man, that's rigged. Y'all cheating." So, I can understand that. But that's how this happens. That's how sports. That's how it is in the real life world too. So.
Because most times the person that's at the bottom are being sellers, while the person that's competing are being buyers. So of course, that's the best person to do a deal with if you're in first is the guy who ain't winning because he looking to sell.
Yep, exactly.
Typically, anyway.
Oh yeah. But and I would just tell most of the people though that are in fantasy sports just understand what your league rules are. Understand what your league rules are so that I know fantasy football and some other leagues that I was in they whenever there's a trade we all have to vote on it so to approve it or not. So but yeah, just be mindful of that. If you can do without it, that's the best way.
I ain't gonna lie, any trade I'm a commission, I approve all trades. If you do a duck trade, that's on you.
That's on you.
That's on you. That's all you.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So which waiver pickups have the best shot of becoming a playoff game changer right now?
Which waiver pickups? Like I said, I look at someone like a Bryce Sensabaugh, someone that you see that's been playing the whole game, the younger, but it's consistent. The teams may not look. I mean, their team may not be winning or may not be, but if their performance, rebounds, assists, if they're being used properly, or you see that their usage rate is going up with a lot of things, their defensive ability is up. I would look at people like that. That would definitely on the waiver wire to help boost my playoff push. Because yes, they may not make the playoffs. That team may not make the playoffs for them in the NBA. But for fantasy, it's not about them making the playoffs. It's about how that player performs for you to win your check, get that chip. So
absolutely. So I ain't gonna lie. For me, players like Royce O'Neal, I've been streaming him all season.
Oh yeah, Royce O'Neal's another good one.
Some of them, I'm gonna go back to the Pacers. We mentioned Jay Huff. Mentioned Jarace Walker. I like situations like that. I guess you can't. I wouldn't name a specific player.
Yeah,
but situations like that where they banged up. You know what I'm saying? And people some new blood getting some opportunity that probably wouldn't have got it if the vets was there. That guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I agree.
I think that guy can help you with your playoff push in your fantasy season.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think there's a lot of like super like boom players left. I think Sensabaugh looked like he might be one. I did a piece on Bryce McGowan's from the Pelicans.
Oh yeah,
he looked like he might be a boom piece. But for the most part, though, I really feel like a lot of the people is pretty set unless there's an injury or opportunity or situation change.
Yep.
So
I agree.
That's what I would go with.
Yep, I agree. I mean, I would also I'm not even gonna lie. I would be if I'm using that waiver wire, especially towards the end of the season. Look at who's probably not making the playoffs and what players that they because that's when they start pulling from the G League and pulling players up. Look who's been cooking in the G League. Watch a lot of that stuff to see who is coming up because what's going to happen. Those are going to be the ones that you don't realize are going to be towards the end of the season when some teams are already cool. They already got the top 3 or 4 seed, 1, 2, 3 seed, and they may start coasting a little bit more. Not taking games off, but coasting. And then you'll see all those other players coming in from those teams that probably aren't making the playoffs that you see start making pushes and start playing really well. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's not really specific people. It's more so based off of the teams and how they're moving, for their playoff push or for rebuilding.
Yeah. And to add to your point, check the guy, like for instance, if Giannis get traded, who's the guy that's gonna benefit from him not being there?
Oh,
That's
100%.
That's a playoff game changer for you too in fantasy.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it might be Miles Turner. Hell, Miles Turner might be on the way out too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that type of situation, if they get traded, who's the next guy up that's going to benefit from the development of that trade?
Exactly.
So yeah. So that that brings us to the end. We here. That's a wrap on this episode. Hey, make sure y'all drop y'all teams in the comments on X. Follow us on X at Hustle Sports Net on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at The Hustle Sports Network. Tap in with your lineups, comments. Let us know. You already know we here to get dubs. We trying to get a win, trying to get a fantasy championship. That's why we here. You know what I'm saying? To get to the business. As you already know, you sleep, you beat. So we'll see y'all next episode.
All right. See y'all next episode.
Yes, sir.